Who doesn't love a good curry? It's just one of the most delicious foods in the world, isn't it? But we're all kind of stuck indoors at the minute, aren't we? Lockdown. So we can't go to our favourite restaurants. Yes, you can get a takeaway. But sometimes you just want that quick curry fix at home. So I'm going to make a cheat chicken tikka masala. Now listen, some of you will know that I've already got a chicken tikka masala recipe on the channel. And it's wonderful, you should absolutely make it. But it's quite a long-winded process. You've got to marinate the chicken, there's lots of spices in there. You know, it's not a quick 15-20 minute meal to knock up, okay? Now I was inspired to create this based off a recipe by Nadia Hussein. If you don't know who she is, she's a fantastic, beautiful, talented cook. And she was on TV making her version of chicken tikka masala using one magic ingredient. And I've kind of taken that principle, played around with the spices, changed things out to make it my own. Now how this recipe differs from your ordinary chicken tikka masala is you don't need to marinate the chicken and it uses one magical ingredient. Okay, I'm not talking like one ingredient to make the chicken tikka masala. I'm not presenting you with a ready meal, but it's this. Tomato soup. Yes, this is your magic ingredient. Now there's lots of stories floating around that actually this is how the original chicken tikka masala came about. In England, well actually they say it's invented in Scotland, Birmingham, all across the country. I don't buy it, I've said this before, I don't buy it. I actually think chicken tikka masala is a derivative of murg makhani, or butter chicken, not tomato soup. But listen when I say, this is going to add creaminess and sweetness, and you can knock up this curry in like 20-30 minutes. So come on, let's get on with it. Right, chicken then. Here it is. Now you can use chicken boobies if you want, but we're using thighs today because they've got lots of flavour and they're cheaper as well. But what I'm going to do is take the skin off, which is really, really simple. You just yank it off. And I'm just going to take out the bone. You can already buy skinless, boneless chicken thighs if that's your preferred choice. Follow the bone and just kind of trim it out. And just kind of run your finger just over it, just to check for any bits of cartilage and bone. And all I'm going to do is cut it into chunks. There it is then. Chicken's all chopped up. I have cleaned down my chopping board, don't worry, because nobody wants to get sick from salmonella. But I need an onion. Well, half of one really, because these are massive. Size of a flipping baby's head. But if you're using smaller onions, then obviously use a whole one. So I'm going to slice up half of this, just into thin slices. Oh yeah, look, go on the floor, why don't you? Ginger garlic paste, okay? I've made my own, kept it in the fridge. You can also kind of buy it in a jar as well. Doesn't matter, but it's really simple to make your own. It's equal amounts of fresh ginger and garlic, minced up nice and fine, mixed with a bit of water. You got ginger garlic paste. Right, so let's get this show on the road. Got my pan here. Yes, I think you're going to be seeing this pan a few times from now on. This is my new favourite toy. So into there, I'm going to add some oil, about 2 tablespoons. You can use ghee as well, but I'm trying to keep this cheap. And ghee is quite expensive. Then we'll get the chicken in. And listen, you know the drill. We need to get a bit of colour on the chicken. We don't need a lot, just a nice light sort of golden tinge. Take about 5 minutes. So we've got a bit of colour on the chicken. Now we can lob in the onions, and I've turned the heat right down low. Nice and low, okay, because we don't want to burn the onions. And I'm going to add just a splash of water, just to lift off all those chickeny bits off the bottom of the pan. And on a nice gentle heat, we just want to soften those onions till they're nice and translucent. Why do we say translucent? Because isn't like translucent mean like they're see-through? Because you can't see through a cooked onion, no matter how hard you try. Opaque, till they're opaque, well, till they're a bit cooked. There we go, till they're a bit cooked. Our onions are translucent, so we're going to go in with 2 decent-sized teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Now look, we need to cook it out, don't we? Cook the rawness out, get it smelling fragrant and lovely and delicious. Take like a minute. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste, puree, whatever you call it, and do the same thing. Cook it out, because uncooked tomato paste tastes sort of gritty and tinny and not very nice. And then after a couple of minutes, we're going to go in with our spices. Get them all in. And much like everything else, we need to cook them out as well. Okay, but again, keep it on a low heat because you do not want these spices to burn. And literally cook them out for a couple of minutes. They'll start to smell nice and fragrant, aromatic, almost toasty. I love curry. Next, we go in with our magic ingredient, our tomato soup. In it goes. I'm going to add just a touch of water, just to kind of swoosh it about a bit, get out the rest of that soup. I know, you can't have curry though, bud. And we're just going to mix all that together. Now, I did forget to mention, and you will spot this in the ingredients list, that there's chilli powder in this. Now, I must warn you, only add a small amount, just a touch, because this isn't a hot curry, it's a very mild one, but I do like a very small amount of chilli powder in there, just to kind of give your throat a little tickle. And then we're going to bring that to a very gentle simmer. Basically what will happen is you'll see little pools of orange oil come to the surface. That's a good sign. It means the spices have cooked out and your curry is ready to go. Food terms. They're just really annoying, aren't they? Like, I know I'm a hypocrite because I do use these kind of words, but just like foodie. Everyone's a foodie. Everyone's got to eat. So everyone is a foodie. Yummo. Oh, Tarquin, that gazpacho is just so yummo. Hashtag YOLO. Foodgasm. What's a foodgasm? I can take a guess. Mouthfeel. What? I've used this before. I know what it means, but come on. Mouthfeel. Moist. Moist. No one likes moist. It's all just nonsense, isn't it? Just for us YouTubers and cooks to take photos of whatever bullshit we've made so we can hashtag it on Instagram. Hashtag foodie, hashtag delicious, hashtag yum, hashtag moist, hashtag shut up. Hashtag delicious. Oh, of course it is, of course it is. I use these words, I know, because they're just ingrained in my mind. Rustic, that basically means you can't be bothered. Symphony of flavours. Off. I am back. Look, this is what I was talking about. Those orange red oils coming to the top. We can't really see. Look there. But I am just going to check the sauce for seasoning. Just needs a bit of salt. Doesn't need any pepper because, well, you've got plenty of spice in there. You don't need it. I'm just going to throw in a bunch of fresh coriander. Mix that through. Switch the heat off. And that's done. Now you can serve this up with rice if you like. I'm going to have it with some roti, which are these things. They're just nice. You can have it with chips if you want. Don't let anybody tell you that curry and chips is not nice, because it flipping well is. It might be blasphemy, but curry and chips is a nice thing. It just, I don't know, it just is. It just is. Oh, let's dig in, let's dig in. And here we have my Cheats chicken tikka masala. Let's go in. It's splendid. It's so good. It works. If you haven't got time to marinate the chicken, if you don't want to add loads of spices, you just want a quick curry fix, this is going to satiate those curry urges. Satiate? Satiate? Satiate. That word. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's spicy. Chicken is still nice and tender, lots of flavour, because thighs are very forgiving. But if you want to use chicken boobies, use them. But let's talk about it below in the comments. What did you think of my chicken tikka curry-ish creation? Inspired by the beautiful and wonderful Nadia Hussein. I'd love to meet her one day. She seems like such a lovely soul. But I'm going to go, because I need to smash this down my neck. Because I am very hungry. He needs his lunch. Don't you? But remember, before I go, do the usual. Like it, share it, all that kind of jazz. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. If you've just found this culinary idiot and you've come across my videos, subscribe. But listen, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks again for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bud, you are going to come and sit on my lap whilst I eat this. You can't have any, because it's curry. I do not want cat diarrhea all over the flat.